these highs here. So this is like topping off. And the two Princess of Discs are like, they're really kind of like, um, they're like a red flag waving here. Here's the high of the month, because what do we have for the highs of the months? The Knight of Discs, which is the sideways rotation. So we have this kind of like day and a half of sideways rotation, probably a slightly lower high tomorrow, and then a sharp drop in there. And then we rebound pretty notably into the early part of the 13th. Yeah, it's interesting. It's like there's another peak there, but from the 1 month standpoint, it really looks like we go lower here on the 14th, and this is really like probably where the lowest low is. Cross street incongruency helps out with that, and then we somehow rebound. There's probably a lot of movement to the upside on the 15th. Let's see. Downward day. Interesting. All right, so there's a death card, and then we need the Prince of Swords here. Hey, James JJ. This is like another one of those monthlies that was really difficult to determine where the highest high and the lowest low were. It's a lot easier to determine where the highs and the lows are, but the highest of them and the lowest of them, when you have a chart like with a theme card that's very sidewaysy, these are both very sideways rotation-y cards. This is a sideways rotation card. It becomes quite difficult in a lot of cases, especially when there's a lot of big moves back and forth, because then the cards' energies kind of like sit on top of each other almost. Yeah, see that death card. That's such a strong cross reading congruency. The February low is the death card. We have highs in the early part of the month, a low here, and then it's possible we come back to the highs, and that would make sense because there's like this sideways rotation energy throughout February, and that's that prudence card as well. That's very sideways rotation-y. But so where's the move to? There's got to be a move to the upside on the 16th. That if it's not the 15th, 16th. About a half hour to go. And we have a high here between 3 and 4 o'clock, as indicated by the green highlight. If you're new and you're unfamiliar with the way that these readings are marked up, it's really like a language that allows me to visually see the patterns with as much information as possible. So the green always indicates highs and upward movement. Red, the opposite. Purple has to do with trades. Orange are like important energies or moments. So like here, this indicates an overbought crest where we have a high, and we have this overbought crest where we have this high taking place between 3 and 4 o'clock. Now, what's important, guys, is that there's going to be like a push to the upside here into the close. There might be a drop before the move to the upside. We have a little time, so there might be a little bit of a drop. But overall, we should push to the upside right around the close, and it's going to be like a very misleading move higher, making us think we should chase this rally. But we should not chase this rally. We should never chase. Chase is instant. It's an instant like red flag of scarcity mentality. And you never want to make decisions from scarcity mentality, especially when it comes to money, my friends. I usually mark where I used to mark where the full moon and the new moon are, but I guess I forgot that I used to do that because I haven't been doing it for a while. Hey, Robert. Hey, it was luck. Hey, B. Can I give guidance on SQ and net for Friday and Monday? Wow, look how overbought that was. Wow. Look how overbought that is. That's crazy. Alright, so SQ's overall trend direction tomorrow. It's mixed, but probably to the downside. Like a decline, an incline, and then another decline, right? And then Monday, a notable reversal on a multi-day scale. A lot of volatility there and an important resistance. That's SQ. And then net. Nice move today. Jeez. Yeah, tomorrow's going to be down. That from a technical standpoint, that's what I would have expected anyways with a move like that. But I got a decline for tomorrow to and through support to meet another support, and then we rotate sideways along that support. It could be like one support. It could be like right here, around here, that we rotate sideways, 84-ish, 84.50-ish. And then on Monday, what is this? I didn't put this there. No, I didn't put that there, but I'll keep it there. Interesting. So for Monday, I got a period of sideways rotation that ends with a fast sudden move higher. Take-Two Interactive Software has earnings tomorrow. What's the stock direction tomorrow? Guys, I'm hopping off right at 4 o'clock. By the way, just to let everybody know, I'm not sticking around past 4 today. I have to go somewhere. So earnings for Take Two, their stock direction. Do you want tomorrow's stock direction or do you want the response? Because it might be different. Like overall direction tomorrow might be different than the chart response. Um, Overall trend direction tomorrow for TTWO. It's very mixed, back and forth, equal amounts of bulls and bears. Hey, Mark. Appreciate it. I hope you're having a great day too. Baba? Oh, I did it. Yeah, so there's a high in there. Underneath this cross-reading congruency, there's an indication of a highest high in early February, so we have that. The question is, will we fill the gap made on January 23rd before moving higher? Good question. It looks like we will from a technical standpoint. It looks like exactly what's happening right now. But let's see. Yeah, we do. We fill that gap before moving higher, my friend. And there's also advisement not to be misled in the later part of February. ARM and DIS flew up today after earnings. Will they can continue to rally Friday and Monday? Will they continue to rally Friday and Monday? Nice move. Wow. I hope some people hopped in on that one. Wow. Wow. Nice move. That's like a... It's like a $37 move. Damn, in one day. Woo! Some people made some good money. I hope they sold. That's the type of move you take your profits. Don't worry about getting out too early. That's the type of move you take your profits, my friends. Remember, I was saying the other day, one of the most important little pieces of advice I can give you from mentality and trading is don't concern yourself with getting the absolute high and the absolute low. Rather, concern yourself with taking the first opportunity to cash out. So when you put yourself into a position, the first opportunity that you make like a good chunk of money, you should exit. You shouldn't concern yourself with what ifs, right? Because what you're doing is you're creating the experience of taking profits, and what you're doing is vibrating the experience of taking profits, and whatever you vibrate you create more of, right? So if you didn't take that opportunity, what would you have been doing? You'd be vibrating letting the opportunity slip, and that's what you would continue to get. Yeah, ARM goes higher. And then it looks like there's probably a decline off of the high tomorrow, or over the weekend we open lower. Either way, there's another move to the upside, but it's from like a lower place to the upside on Monday. That's ARM, and then Disney. Looks like there's a high really early in February. So probably what's forming here, and there's a pretty big decline off of that high. So let's see what we got tomorrow. There's a notable reversal tomorrow, and Monday there's an important price level that's highlighted. We're probably topping off tomorrow, and we reverse, and then on Monday it looks like maybe we have failed attempts to break through that resistance that we create today and tomorrow. Yeah, so it looks like we declined probably from roughly around these price levels here. We declined probably like to 104 or 102. I mean, over the course of several days, not tomorrow. Over the course of several days, and then by the end of the month, like entering into March, we should be rallying again pretty notably. But I'm pretty sure what we're establishing right now is a very significant high on a 1 year chart scale. Yeah, I haven't recorded Disney yet. Grab the last week of February. I don't think I've have this one done yet. This is not done yet, but I can still take a look at the overall card energies. Last week of February on the 1 year looks pretty bearish. Um, Looks pretty bearish. It looks like there's an important low there in March, like many of the 2024s with that death card. Probably a pretty notable decline into March, off of the highs probably. And it looks like here in early March, or excuse me, in early February, I'm being advised not to chase a rally in the early part of February. There's a full retracement, like there's a move higher and a full retracement, and this is lining up perfectly for the type of move that you see with the art card. It's usually a very pointy kind of triangular. It's not always, but usually, and it's a full retracement. This is a pretty solid reading, and so the lows here that took place in January are important. That's the Ace of Swords price level right there. So early on, that can be really helpful. Actually, let me do it this way first. So, so there's a very strong probability that we revisit these lows by the end of March. Right? Because what happens when you get an Ace of Swords price level, it's not as natural in the low significator position, but it's still what it's indicating is that we'll revisit that price level many times. So we'll there's a lot of price change to and from it, and so once you figure out that it's part of a range, you can then utilize it as an entry and an exit for various other trades throughout the year. Hey AV, MSI, MSI earnings. It's like, does anybody think it's like silly that when I say, hey, AV, when I say, hey, AV, Siri doesn't do anything. When I say TT, oh, the speaker's kind of blocked. Anyhow, I feel like AV's a lot more easy for like the computer to screw up. Anyways, MSI. Are you talking about? Oh, there's this. There we go. MSI earnings tonight. What will be the earnings results for MSI? Looks like it's a miss. It might be a mix. It's either mixed or it's a straight miss. And the overall chart behavior in response will be interesting. Yeah, really bullish. really, really bullish. So it might be mixed. The response might be mixed. Either way, the response is super, super bullish for MSI. Just let you guys know. Does BTC have a chance to drop to a lower price than 40K in February? At this point, it really doesn't look that way. So there's a couple ways that it looks like on the 1 year that it could go from the 1 month. Well, there's that cross reading correlation. Wow, it was reliable. We had this big move higher. We didn't really get this drop for the indolence card, really. I mean, there was one there, but not really. Not like it should have been. But we did have this big move and then this big move. We should see some sort of like sidewaysy stuff. And there's got to be a trough here. I don't think that this is the lowest low by any means here on the 10th, but there's got to be a trough. There's like a drop there. There's some sort of drop there, I feel. Yeah, there's a drop there, like probably towards the end of the day. But will that take us below 40K? Highly unlikely. What I think happened here is, well, actually, yeah. All right, let me ask the cards because it does look like it's possible looking at it. It's a pretty bearish February. Most of the February readings start out bullish and then they turn sour about halfway through. But there should be a sharp drop here from like roughly these price levels too. I mean in the market. I got a yes for that. I got a yes for 40K in February. So most likely location of that is going to be like the 18th or maybe like somewhere between the 22nd and the 26th, but there's a lot going on here that could really throw off a lowest low. All right, guys, I'm gonna cap off those questions here. So will the Bitcoin rally continue next week, Proof? Yeah, it looks like it does continue, yes. There's a little breather here around the 9th, 10th, but it doesn't last long. And then we go higher, it looks like, into like and into here. This is probably a really sharp drop. on the 18th, 19th. AFRM earnings are today. What will the reaction be? Looks like they meet earnings is a basic meet, and the result probably a quick drop at first, but overall it's to the upside. They might, and it could be that they miss and go higher. That's another way that it goes. I think it's a meet though, with a slight drop and then a notable move higher. Hey Mark, oh, I said hello already. If you have time today, here's an interesting one to ask the cards about. Will Reginald Middleton's U.S. patent number 111965666B2 start getting royalties from crypto companies in the next 3 years? Interesting. That's like a very definitive yes, and it probably happens sooner rather than later. It looks like that's what I would expect based on the star card. TT, if you want to ask a question real quick, I got to roll. I'm leaving right at 4, so I would pump that out. I already asked people to cut the questions, but since you just hopped on, you want to throw one at me real quick. Will the rally continue into Friday and Monday for Meta and Google? Wow, don't those look very similar to me? Wow. Interesting. Um yeah, it doesn't really look like it. Oh, well, it might. It's hard to say, really. Geez, there's like some sort of drop here, but then it's almost like we return right away back to highs. That's meta. Google does look like it continues higher tomorrow, but maybe after a quick breather overnight or something like that. Yeah, I did Bitcoin already, so just scroll back afterwards. The pullback on the, yeah, I was talking about a pullback on the 9th, 10th. But I think it's going to be a really quick one. I think it's going to be a really quick one. There is a sharp drop then in there to a trough. It looks like at the end of the day on the 9th. But then there's like this big move higher on the 10th, can break out on probably a breakout on the 10th, a breakout on the 11th, and then kind of like halts here. We dance sideways into the end of like into like the 14th. All right, guys. With that said, just a real quick cover. So here are those highs at the end of the day. Right, that's that overbought crest at the end of the day at a high. So we should see this push higher, probably pushing the upper end of it. This is actually the little drop I was talking about that we would see before a big move pushing the upper end of a range higher. So I would expect in the post market or right at the close some sort of like spike or big move to the upside there. But I think we probably open lower. That's what I was going to check. Where are my notes on that? I have an open higher, but then pretty notable decline. In any case, I think there's a pretty good drop there on the 9th. If you're in short positions, I would look for a good opportunity to close out of those shorts here midday. And if it doesn't look like a good opportunity, instead of closing out of them, what I would do is try and balance out the short position by opening up a long position here around the same time. Because there's going to be opportunity to close a long position here on the 13th. And then it looks like a pretty good drop again, 14th, 15th. And that's where I would close out of the short if if there isn't a good opportunity here on the 9th. That's probably, I would wait until like the 13th, 14th area. But with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, make sure to follow that Rule of Karma. Channel's counting on you. Oh, and guys, the special offer expires on Friday. It's buy one, get one 2024 1-year reading and get the equivalent ticker or crypto's 2025 1-year reading. It's a buy one, get one free. 1 ticker, 2 readings, 2 years. Best deal we've had on 1 year's like to date. Expires on Friday. You can email me for the link, or you can see right here, we shortened the link. So it's tarotfortraders.com/product-page/special. But you can always email me for the link. Or if you're an angel investor, you'll see that on our angel investor Discord server as well. It's there, that link as well. So with that said, make sure to follow